Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video. In this video we are going to talk about the Wednesday store, Jenna Ortega, and how apparently she's getting canceled because some of the comments that she's had apparently said. Let's read. Okay. So, you guys know I kind of covered Jenna Ortega quite a bit on this channel. At least twice so far. And I swear some people are going to say, you cover her because you're a Jenna Ortega sip. Making videos about her? No, it doesn't make me a simp. Anyways, let's read. What makes Jenna Ortega think she can publicly trash her employer and get away with it? Everybody and everything. That's what. Just the punishment-free, cowering in her terror. You do you, be well world we live in. The 20-year-old star of Netflix massive hit Wednesday, already a national treasure in her own mind, recently said on Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert podcast that her behavior at work was unprofessional. But Ortega wasn't a teary-eyed apology toward atoning for her sins. No, she was extolling her rotten behavior as a virtue. On the podcast, the actress who's also in Scream 6 discussed how, like the authoritarian dictator, she was a self-appointed script doctor on Wednesday, and that she deserves the utmost thanks for the actual paid, unionized writers of bettering their thought Scotlack. And this is what she said, quote unquote, there were times on the set where I even became almost unprofessional in a sense, where I just started changing lines. Ortega said, probably citing that sort of action that would get anyone else in any profession fired. And I feel like I kind of covered this in the last video, but admittedly, I'll give them this. If it was in any other profession, her taking the reins, especially from what I remember from last, how she didn't even tell the writers that she was going to make those changes. Yeah, probably wasn't the best idea. So, and I remember saying towards the end of the last video, which I will link in this video for you guys, that if she was going to do that, at the very least, she should have let the writers' teams know, hey, I changed this, because I feel like that's out of the character of Wednesday or whatever. But yeah, to give this article some wiggle room, yeah, if she did that in any other profession, she would probably get fired. I can't admit to that. This quote unquote, the script supervisor thought I was going with something, and then I had to sit down with the writers, and they'd be like, What happened to the scene? And I have to go and explain why I couldn't go with the things. Some of those things, Wednesday being a love triangle, it made no sense. There were a line about a dress she had to wear to a school dance, and she said, oh my god, I love it. Ugh, I can't believe I said that. I literally hate myself. I have to go now. Jenna, you're a mediocre spin-off. You're not a mediocre spin-off of Addams Family that's best known for flailing arms dance on TikTok. Nothing about it makes sense. I don't know if I would call that, I wouldn't say a mediocre show, but I don't know, the love triangle, guess, there's a season 2 of Wednesday, but, that's gonna come out, right? But this whole, so, that They could focus more on Wednesday not having being in the love triangle in season 2. Is my point. Season 1, that could like, if she allowed the love triangle thing to go to fruition, she could have like easily like it could have easily been a way to like use as character development, right? That she it could be like a reminder to the character, yeah, this is why I don't try to entertain those pathetic ideas. You know, as a way to like really back the why Wednesday doesn't really do love. So even though I might not have like felt like a character, like she kind of could have been like more of like coming to be like what society calls a normal girl, only to get smacked by her love interest being a bad guy and saying, "Oh yeah, this is why I don't really let people in." So it could have worked. It honestly could have worked. When the writers are saying to you, "Well, what happened to the scene you have crossed an obvious line and no longer doing your job?" Ortega, egotistical nonsense, is a throwback to Catherine Heige's petulance in the early days of Grey's Anatomy. The then 29-year Starlet was already known for being difficult when in 2018 she very publicly took herself out of the Emmy Awards contention. "Quote unquote, I do not feel like I was given the materials in the season to warrant an Emmy nomination. In addition, I did not want to potentially take away an opportunity from the actress who was given such material." And now we're going to Grey's Anatomy, which I'm not going to read because I don't feel like that really goes into the article. So, pro for Rhymes for not suffering any fools or divas, but many in the industry seem only too happy to put up with Ortega. She's still on the rise, well, at least 4 movies in the works, and saying the actress has been made to an executive producer on the 2nd season of Wednesday. It's like if your boss discovered you sitting in the office chair shouting orders to your peers and said, "You're absolutely right. You're in charge now." Stephen D. Knight, a producer whose credits include Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and who isn't working on Wednesday, did, however, have to call out Ortega of sorts. Start off. On Twitter, he declared her comments entitled and toxic, but then had to walk it back after an outcry of fans. Ortega is fantastic, and the whole uproar is learning experience for everyone. D. Knight later tweeted on the Multi Corpora, "Diva behavior isn't new in Hollywood, or Broadway, or opera, but it used to amount to the artistically rooted outbursts of supernaturally talented people who've been in the business." So essentially, they want to cancel Ortega because she kind of took charge in the Wednesday show. And like I said, to a certain extent, I can understand some people being frustrated because, like, I can understand how her doing that in season 1 was unprofessional. You can say that she was so unprofessional, especially since the writers said, "Hey, what happened to this scene?" She should have at the very least let the writers know, "Hey, I'm changing the scene, and here's why," before the actual day. Because that's where I'll say it was unprofessional of her. But I don't think that she should be canceled over it. And yeah, they're right. Like, she'd probably be fired if it was any other job setting. I'll agree with you guys on that. I'll give you guys that point. But again, I don't think she should be canceled. Like, people are, like, too quick to try to cancel people nowadays. And it's pathetic. And I'm like I'll reiterate what I said earlier in this video and in my last video, which I'll also link in the description below. If Jenna Ortega was going to switch the scene, take it in her own hands to switch some parts of the scene, at the very least, she should have told the writers before, like, the day of shooting, hey, I changed this scene, and this is why. You know, to a certain extent, that was still be unprofessional, like her switching without letting the writers know. At least in the situation I'm presenting, she at least let the writers know before shooting. So, at the end of the day, the route I'm going with showed a bit more professionalism than how she did currently. It was, and behind the scenes, which I'll admit. But, with this article. But, again, just because she was unprofessional, I don't think she should be canceled. I mean, sure, someone should, like, talk with her saying, okay, Jenna, I know your intentions were good, but there are times when you have to take the back seat and can't really do what you did with season 1 of Wednesday. There are better ways to do things. Just have that talk. Have that friendly conversation. And then move on. But I don't think it warrants anyone getting canned. And I just feel like cancel culture, most of the people in cancel culture, they are like, is full of, like, cancel culture is full of people who, the chances of them having skeletons behind the closet is high. Let's be real. And I don't think cancel culture should be a thing. It's dumb. It's dumb. But with that said, what do you beautiful people think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. I'll talk to you fellow mutants later. Later, cheers.